Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are here for the Easter special of Doctor Who this year, 2022. The Easter special, which is Legend of the Sea Devils. And disclaimer: I did do a bit more of trying to catch up to Classic Who, still trying to kind of somewhat working my way through some First Doctor stuff, and seriously considering if I should just skip forward to any of the other Doctors, because of what's lost and everything, but still working my way through it. And I think I actually saw something earlier that kind of imply to me that the Sea Devils don't actually show up until at least like the third Doctor. So I think I've still got a bit of a ways to go. But I think the stories are somewhat kind of like disconnected enough that you can still kind of skip ahead and see what's new with each different Doctor, especially like to the ones that introduce new aliens and villains and everything, because then that's like the start of a new story and everything. But either way, I'll just kind of see how it goes and see where it takes me. But yeah, this one is the Legend of the Sea Devils, and I think I'm kind of somewhat trusting that this episode will also do like a good enough job. I mean, because whenever they bring an older monster back, and especially with new companions, I think they always at least try and kind of give like a brief or like a vague kind of like a rebrief of of who the villains are and what they do and where they're from and everything, like to actually tell the new companions and everything. So I think I'm trusting they're gonna have that, but with the Doctor actually kind of explaining what they are, what they can do, and all that kind of stuff. So that's gonna be my first time learning about the Sea Devils in any capacity. So I'm kind of hoping for that at least, but. Yeah, I think what we know about this one is going to be a cool little pirate adventure with, I think her name is Madame Ching. I think we got a trailer like 2 weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago. We got like a very very kind of teasy kind of trailer, um, showcasing the gang in all kind of like Asian kind of garb and some pirate costume for Dan and then the Doctor and Yaz in some ancient kind of Chinese garbs. So yeah, I think that seems cool. And we had Madame Ching do the legendary Pirate Queen, as the Doctor called her. So I think we're going to see her kind of side of the story and her kind of place in history. And see what she did that was so impactful and so iconic. So that'll be fun. And then of course, it being like a historical one, it seems the Sea Devils are. I'm wondering if they are going to be like an aquatic version of the Silurians. Maybe they're actually here on Earth, or like at least under the Earth, like before humanity, and maybe they're under the sea or something. So maybe that's going to be their uprisal. So. I'm looking forward to seeing everything this episode has to offer, and it being especially the penultimate one, the next episode. I think I don't know exactly when the next episode is coming. If that's going to be like a Christmas special, I'm going to have to wait all the way until December. If it's going to be something else, I mean, I can imagine it being more that way, because I think festive specials have always kind of been Doctor Who's thing a bit more than just kind of random stuff. Like New Year's, Christmas, Easter, that kind of thing. So if that is the case, then might have to wait all the way until December. So yeah, but I'm hoping then this episode leaves us with enough to discuss and to ponder over until then. So yeah, that is the penultimate one, the penultimate episode. But yeah, last time we had Eve of the Daleks, the New Year special Eve of the Daleks, and that was a big one. That was a really cool time loop episode with the Daleks and some great, as it's been mentioned, very enthusiastically by very many fans. It was also a very, very kind of hearty episode for Thasmin fans and for Thasmin content too. Yaz finally admitting to herself how she feels, who she is, and how she feels towards the Doctor, and even the Doctor kind of being in like somewhat of like a state of denial over it because of all the stuff that's to come and everything. So like wondering, like how she's gonna approach this and what she's gonna do, and then Dan just being the ultimate kind of, the ultimate kind of himbo shipper in the background, actually trying to get them to talk to each other and actually get them to communicate and everything and get them to do stuff. So a lot of people have had a lot of different thoughts on how they should approach it and how they should do it, or at least what they hope to see from it and everything. Some people are hoping for a full-on kind of confession and maybe even a relationship, but then we know that's not going to last, because then again, penultimate episode. So yeah, I think that's also like another problem people have had too, that they've actually waited until now to actually try and address it, even when she's literally out on her way out too. So again, not the best timing. Really not the best timing. Really not the best timing. But yeah, what can we do except for just wait and see what else they can actually offer us in this and the next. So yeah, and then I think we also met Sarah and Nick too. They made for really really fun, really great companions. I think people have kind of been hoping to see them back again sometime in the future. So maybe, just maybe, we can actually get something from them. Maybe like a return or something. So because they both lived, and they also got together by the end too. So I mean, they had their happy ending. They had their kind of happy ending. So no reason for Thasmin to not have the same treatment. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think Eve of the Daleks was a really, really fun one, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how Legend of the Sea Devils does it. And then after this, I will merrily continue my journey on through the kind of earlier portions of Classicu until I get to a point where I can even consider maybe reacting to a few things here and there. So yeah, we'll see how that journey goes too. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this one. Just waiting for the episode to actually start airing on the channel and everything. So yeah, I guess I'll see you see you all when the episode starts. So yeah. Madame Ching. I mean, she is a pirate. She's a pirate. But then is she? I mean, I feel like pirates are grey areas. So is she good or bad? What's the statue? Is it a statue of a sea devil? Is this going to be what unleashes the sea devils? It's a sea devil statue, of course. It's a sea devil statue, and they're holding a man, a person. Wow. They can't be that big. No, we've seen them. I think they look fairly kind of humanoid and life size. Yeah, I think this is just an exaggeration of power. Was the sea devil in the statue? Is this like an Attack on Titan thing? Was the sea devil in the statue? Oh boy. Oh, great. Oh, there's a beach. There's a beach, yo. There's a beach. They finally got to a beach. Well, we weren't aiming for one. Yeah. And there he is. Oh, he can do it better. He can do it better. Oh, oh, oh.
See?
Oh, oh god, I love that shot. Yeah, just blurring into focus.
Sea devil.
Yeah.
Land parasite.
I saw the meme about that, like land bastards or something. I saw the meme about that on Twitter.
Who are you? I'm the doctor.
Hell yeah. They don't remember her, really? Surely.
I just caught a whopper.
Surely they get. Oh, well, again, face change, so they have no idea. Yeah, so I am the doctor might be the one thing that reveals. Whoa, is that the ship? Is that the Sea Devil ship? That's the one with the light bulbs underneath. Yeah. Do the Sea Devils have a ship? They have a ship now. They have a ship. Oh, there are more Sea Devils. Yeah. What's so special about that rock? She had to break a statue and crack open an ancient alien curse just for a rock.
Sorry about his outfit.
Very, very flashy. Yeah.
The lost treasure of the Flor de la Mar is worth any amount.
The Flor de la Mar, okay.
I thought that went down off the coast of Sumatra.
Legend says the treasure was found years later by the great Captain Sin Tihan.
Huh. So they managed to capture it then? That would imply they actually managed to capture it and put it in a stone encasing. That's for 19th century people, that's pretty innovative. The land crawlers, yeah. Remember seeing the Twitter meme of like, you know, Sea Devil. Oh, land bastard. How about that? You like that, huh? You like the name calling? Whoa! An actual sea monster? An actual sea monster? Is this like some kind of Chinese kraken or something? Kraken is the only Chinese monster I can think of. Chinese monster, Loch Ness. Chinese version of the Loch Ness.
Where do they come from? Ah, slight wrinkle there. Earth. They were here before humans.
Of course, yes.
Earth as their own planet.
Just like the Silurians. Did she see them? Did she spot them? She spotted them, right? There was no way that was subtle.
I have to avenge my father.
She didn't kill him, the Sea Devil did.
70? 60? 42?
42. Oh, and he's working for them.
My ship is yours.
That's how they got the ship.
Comes in league with the sea devils.
That's how they got the ship.
But why would he do that?
I mean, that's the trouble with history, never anything like the books. Same as Stephen King movies. The treasure, shipwreck, bottom of the ocean.
I know, I love being at
Yeah, great visuals. Great visuals. I love that, yeah, the fish circling around, yeah.
Not a bad day, am I?
Oh? No, not a bad day at all. No, not a bad day at all. No. Shit.
Something's missing. No ship, Sherlock. Not even the tiniest sign. Where's the ship? It's only been 274 years. At the very least, there'd be a wreck.
I have words, but you know what? I'm gonna keep myself. I'm gonna contain myself.
It can't just have disappeared.
Oh, there's the monster. Oh, there's the monster. Yep, there's the monster. Oh. Oh, yeah, sea devils. Imagine being a giant alien monster like that and having the TARDIS stuck between your teeth. Yeah, just gonna need one hell of a toothpick.
Ursa Minor. Polaris.
Yeah, they used to use stars. They used to use stars to navigate.
I always thought that I'd learn the constellations, but then I just downloaded an app.
Oh, is that an ear? That's an ear.
You want to know why I'm on this ship alone?
Is it one of her cruises?
My crew were taken.
Yeah.
You lost your father. I could lose my sons.
Oh. So she needs the treasure to pay off the ransom.
It's the sound of Hua Shen.
Hua Shen. That's the monster, Hua Shen. Great. Can cannonballs really affect this thing? Definitely seems like the kind of thing to have really thick skin and tough hides and armor and scales and everything it would need. Oh, it just fires it right back. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, just, you know, taste of your own medicine. Whoa. Just fires right back.
We know you and he were in league. We know you're the cause of his ship sinking. So what have you done with the treasure?
I was keeping all that in reserve.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, I forgive you.
Still, good cop, bad cop, it, you know, definitely, you know, a decent approach.
Bit claustrophobic there. Damp. Bit cramped. Damp, cramped.
You talk to secure yourself time to think.
Yeah, they're picking up on that, yeah. Picking up, yeah, that little smirk from yeah, it's like, yeah, they know.
Your people are conflict averse. Honourable. So what's this then? Are you just the bad egg of the species?
Have they got their own baggage too, their own trauma they're trying to escape from or reclaim?
Okay.
Oh, it's like a TARDIS console.
For an amateur.
Yeah.
What does this do?
Oh.
Do not.
No touching any TARDIS console that isn't your own.
Curious. You can take it, don't mind us. Just don't give out your card details. What sharks out there?
Oh, gosh.
Ji-hun. I'm the doctor.
The keystone. Is it safe?
It's with Madame Ching. Yes, that stone that Madame Ching picked up. Geronimo! Hey!
Any ideas?
Whoa. Why is it inside him? Whoa. Why is it inside him?
Keystone. It could be used to entomb aggressors.
Frozen in time.
Oh.
A statue on land.
Ah, that's why that makes
No wonder
sense.
that gem's so valuable. Say hello to my crew. Go.
Okay, maybe not. Okay, hopefully Yaz has a better handle. Hopefully Yaz has a better handle. Yeah, oh. Oh, God. Oh, please don't hurt Yaz. Please don't hurt Yaz. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, Ji-hun and Madame Ching. Yeah. Great. Oh, God. Why does the Doctor keep losing swords? Jesus. Oh. Please don't get hurt. Come on. You don't have to leave until next episode. Come on. Please don't get hurt. Oh. You killed it. Well, they are pirates. I mean, killing is kind of what they do. So.
Did you say anything to the doctor?
Hmm?
About what I said to you?
Come on, Yaz. Can't you see it?
Geomagnetic
Oh,
instability
for fuck's
increases.
sake. Why is it always a brief conversation? Why is it always a brief thing? Oh, God damn it. No. Could have had another great Yaz and Dan conversation, but no. Closest, the literal closest we've come is the Doctor and Yaz, but still not close enough. Not close enough. Too far away. Nuh-uh. Need that beach. Need that beautiful sandy beach. Gosh, I'm actually really nervous thinking about it. I'm actually really nervous for it to happen. Just waiting for it and it never comes.
Yes, with me.
Yeah, Yaz with the Doctor. Yeah, with the Doctor. There we go. Yeah, with the Doctor. Yeah. Go on. Go on. Go save the world and then have a talk. Yeah, talk about things. Oh. Whoa. Oh.
Where did you learn to deal with your enemies like that?
You should meet me, Mum.
Dan with a wok is, you know, lethal. Dan with the Sea Devil sword is apparently very deadly.
I think you're one of the greatest people I've ever known. Including my wife. You what?
Oh yes, well,
Wasn't gonna
Rare
make
River,
it.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
long time
there
ago.
was,
It
yeah.
a different man back then.
Yeah, there's,
Point is,
yeah.
If it's gonna be anyone, it'd be you. But I can't.
Oh,
Why not?
Because at some point, time always runs out.
Oh gosh. Oh, R.I.P. to Ji-hun. Oh, they found the treasure then. Yeah, the Flor de la Mar treasure. Okay, like a little golden, literal golden treasure chest.
No.
Yeah.
Die?
That's weird.
You're weird. I was just thinking about you.
Oh yeah, she is.
Such
Yeah.
a big duff face.
Oh.
I can't fix myself to anything. I've never been able to. That's what my life is. Not because I don't want to. Because I might. It'll hurt.
My nanny says, courage is knowing something will hurt
But doing it anyway.
and doing it anyway.
Doing it. That's just courage. Yeah, that's the third Doctor. Yeah, courage is.
She also said it's the definition of strength.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we just live in the present of what we have while we still have it?
Just savor it. Just cherish what you have. Just go for it. But,
Sure.
or is it just like not go any further with it, but just keep?
I wish this would go on forever.
Now it'll probably skim. Now it will skim on forever. Oh gosh.
Nothing is forever.
Oh
No
gosh.
regeneration, no life.
Oh, the Daleks are back again.
It's just the message.
This dude, the cyber dude. And the Master's back. Oh god.
Ace, I haven't heard from the doctor for nearly 4 decades.
Wait, Ace?
Is it only 4 decades for you?
Ace! Ace! Vinda! Everyone's back!
The end of your existence.
Ace is back! Oh no! Are you kidding me? Everyone's coming back! Literally, everyone's coming back! Ace, the Master, the Cyber Dude. Good lord. Oh, Christ. Okay. Oh, boy. Wow, okay. I'm gonna very quickly talk about that little next time preview that we just saw first. So apparently Tegan will shut up. I think I recognize Tegan a little bit less, a tiny bit less. Ace, I think I have actually watched like a few more. I think I actually watched like more stuff with Ace in it compared to Tegan, because I think Tegan comes up. I think Tegan is like a 5th Doctor companion. I think Tegan might be a 5th Doctor companion, but then Ace is a 7th Doctor companion, and a really cool one, cool one too. I've seen more clips of her fighting monsters and stuff, and being companion to the 7th Doctor and everything. So yeah, seeing Sophie Aldred as Ace back in, that's gonna be really fun, and Tegan too. I think this, if this is, I don't know. I think they said coming soon. They never really said when, so I don't know if it's gonna be like the next Christmas special or something else after that. But yeah, either way, all the more incentive to catch up, see all the new cool companions, and see all the stories and everything. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, we saw the Daleks are back. The I can't remember what his name was. The Siberian guy, the Cyberman with like half of a face that was in the Mary Shelley episode. Him, the Cybermen are back too. The Master, a clean shaven and a bearded Master too. A clean shaven Master and a bearded Master. I think, you know, like the latter must come before the first one. I mean, I don't know, it's Doctor Who, so either one could come one after the other, or maybe both at the same time too, you know, some timeline chaos. But the Master's back, and even like the Lion said, you know, her time is running out, the forces of darkness and their masters, the Master has come back. So people who theorised the Master would be back, you know, pat yourselves on the back, you were right. So bringing him back for her final thing, and even the ending I should have regeneration too. The ending should have regeneration. I think in that scene she said Yaz too. I think she actually said Yaz, and the subtitles said read Yaz. So I have no idea if she's gonna regenerate with Yaz in the TARDIS. If Yaz is gonna be joining the pantheon of companions who actually witnessed the Doctor regenerating in the TARDIS and have to go through that kind of a that kind of a transformation too. So I don't know, but damn, the Centenary special is going to be one hell of a special. I think that's actually also what it's meant to be. It's meant to be I think the centenary of the BBC. I think so. I think it's meant to coincide with that, because I think Doctor Who is easily one of the BBC's biggest kind of products ever. So depends on when that is. If that takes place around Christmas, or if that's going to be coming up sooner, then yeah, then in that case we have even less time to prepare. So that's lovely. So But yeah, so that is the special. That's gonna be the special. So all of her kind of all the kind of I think like the kind of more important, more iconic, and more significant kind of enemies she's faced in her time period in her era, coming back to witness her final battle before she regenerates and everything. So I'm not ready to say goodbye. I am in no way, shape, or form ready to say goodbye. It does really, I think it really does not feel like we've had her for that long. It really it could not feel like it could not feel more like we've had her for less time compared to the other Doctors. And I think there's a bunch of factors that go into that, but I think also just how scattered the seasons have been, how scattered the whole kind of structure of this kind of portion of New Who has been, and just how little I feel like we've gotten to see Jodie as the Doctor. Like it doesn't really feel like this season really done her full justice. I really wish we could have had a Jodie run under RTD. I really fucking wish she'd actually. I mean, she could easily come back, because I think the 60th special is definitely meant to take place under RTD as well. Like it is meant to happen. And I think with that one, like easily the 3 Doctors we could get. Yeah, I think easily in that one, the 3... I mean, no, we could get 4 Doctors in that one, because then Matt and David would probably be super duper on board, and then Capaldi probably would come back just for that too, and then Jodie would be like, hell yeah, I'm on board. So, could easily get the 4 Doctors on that. Could easily get the 4, because then, yeah, Chris has never come back, so could easily get the 4 Doctors in, or even the 3 Doctors if they want to stick to... if Capaldi doesn't come back, then maybe just Jodie and the other 2, so... Yeah, hopefully we could actually see her come back then and just actually, get some more stuff. But yeah, not ready to let go. Seeing her regeneration in the preview was actually something else. Seeing her regeneration actually happen, her face glowing and everything happening, was something else. But yeah, and at this point, honestly, I think not simply because we haven't had any teasers as to who the new Doctor is, but not simply just because of that, but also because I personally am not ready to actually kind of let go of Jodie as a Doctor and everything, and just at the very most, I'm just hoping she gets a goodbye that she's comfortable with, and she gets a goodbye that she's happy with, and she's actually proud of doing and everything. But damn, just gonna be rewatching these series like a bunch after she's gone. So. And yeah, okay, I'm seeing more stuff now. So even Kate's back, Kate Stewart's back, she's back. Yeah, Vinder's back too. Vinder's come back. A lot of people saying we didn't really get that much time with Vinder and with Belle either. So Vinder's going to be coming back too, so it's cool that he'll be there for the Doctor's final. And then Master, of course, and yeah, Tegan and Ace. Oh god, they look so good. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. That is very cool. And yeah, the cyber dude, the cyber guy. So yeah, but yeah, I think as an episode overall, I feel like it was decent. I think I didn't really kind of take like a huge amount away from it. I feel like definitely, I think it would have been like I feel like even without me having known anything or actually having experienced like any proper nostalgia from the Sea Devils, I feel like even for people who had seen the Sea Devils from the classic series, I think maybe it might just feel like a cool kind of return. I think it didn't really feel like seem to me like anything spectacular in that regard. It felt like a kind of cool kind of sci-fi episode. And I think also like I think it did definitely kind of veer down that whole path of them wanting to reclaim what was theirs. And I think because I feel like again like they had a pretty similar kind of story with the Silurians in the Fifth Doctor era. With that one, like they were kind of somewhat land dwellers too, but then they were just underground. They were underground under what was being mined and everything. And with them, they had been forced underground too, but then they wanted to reclaim what was theirs. I think it felt like a bit, I don't want to say like a copy and paste, but it felt very kind of similar to that story, so very familiar and everything. And yeah, I think it seemed just more like they just actively wanted to also turn the world into like a water world just for them too. So actually reclaiming with the planet that was theirs, but also turning everything into water, flooding the entire planet and making it habitable only for them. So like a cool kind of like a villainous kind of power grab story in that way. But then even the Doctor mentioning that they used to be like an honorable race and everything. So either the stuff is. I mean, well, to be fair, I think this was also before they met her. But this was also before they met the Doctor. I think even the Doctor said that she actually does run into them in the future. So I think last time they met must not be as early as 1807 or even like the 19th century, as far back as in like meeting with the third Doctor. I think I actually saw like a clip on Twitter yesterday someone shared of the, I think, the fifth Doctor. I think there was the fifth. I think it might have been the fifth. So I think just like early, even in those eras, I think it must have been actually later in Earth's kind of timeline and everything that they still met. So I think, I mean, canonically, but then also timeline, like timelines being what it is, I think it's probably not going to have too much effect, because then there's no way they can actually redo any of those classic stories in a way that they're affected by what happens in New Who. So, and also the whole kind of timey-wimey stuff. So, so I think that kind of gave, somewhat gave the kind of advantage of them not really knowing who she was, and never having dealt with her before, so that way she kind of had like an easier time kind of traversing them and actually maneuvering around the situation and dealing with them and everything, like already knowing what they were and what they were capable of and all that kind of stuff. So it seemed cool in that sense, but it seemed like a fun little definitely had like Monster of the Week vibes. It definitely had like Monster of the Week vibes to it compared to compare to any other kind of specials we've seen, especially as an Easter special too. It didn't really kind of. I mean, I think it was never really meant. I think they never actively promoted like it would be like an Easter themed kind of thing. Even though we've only very briefly had that kind of thing before with David Tennant. But even with this one thing, it definitely, I think it definitely could have been kind of passed off somewhat as like a Monster of the Week thing. And I'm not to say it's bad, but it definitely it definitely felt like something they actually kind of created to fit the Easter special kind of time slot, but not specifically like an actual special episode. Besides from it being her penultimate one, actually them not wanting to, or or them maybe not being able to do like an actual full final season to actually reach that point, and like Flux being its own thing. That's how it kind of worked out and everything. But either way, still like an enjoyable thing, still like a cool kind of little sci-fi flick that they decided to put together and actually bring back like an iconic kind of monster from way back in. And even the Sea Devils too, I think the Sea Devils like they looked really cool and they worked really well. And I think I think I definitely kind of like think. Not again, like I think not to say they were spectacular, but I think I definitely kind of expected kind of like milder things from them. So in that sense, they definitely kind of like took me back a bit and actually kind of like actually showcased themselves to be a bit more formidable as characters and as an enemy force than I was expecting. So that was really cool. And even then, kind of actually reading into the Doctor too, like them like being like, oh, you're speaking more to store for time. You're trying to calculate how to get out of this, and you're trying to do this, that, and the other. Like even them having never met her, I think even that one guy who was the main kind of leader, kind of Sea Devil, I think he still kind of knew how to read his opponents and actually how to stay in control of the situation and everything. So that seems fun. I think Sea Devils being pirates too, I think that's a really kind of interesting kind of concept too. Because I think with the Silurians, I think we never had them kind of like actually mimicking or taking control of any kind of other human occupations. Like they were just themselves, but they had their own little kind of underground world thing going on where they had their own labs and their own kind of world and all that kind of stuff before they could actually kind of in order to actually kind of plan out like some kind of attack where they would actually reclaim the surface level and everything. So that was that. But yeah, with the Sea Devils, they fully acclimated to that kind of culture. They they took the ship, they got their own ship and actually like renovated it to their own needs and had their own little kind of cave system thing going on underneath with their own labs and everything. So they fully acclimated to being under the ocean bed, like they were literally under the ocean bed, so they fully acclimated to that kind of other kind of subaquatic kind of culture and use that kind of climate, I guess you could say, to their advantage and everything. So seeing them work their way around, like that was cool. And seeing their weapons too, their swords that were like kind of laser powered and could like near kind of like near disintegrate anything they touched and everything. So yeah, it was cool to have them part of the story and cool to have them actually kind of doing their thing in this. So that was fun. And yeah, I think especially historically too, I think they did like a decent job with Madame Ching and the Ji Hun dude as well. They did like a good enough job. I feel like they very very briefly kind of like reference their history from before this episode, like what would have been leading up to the events of this episode. But then even in this episode, I think because I think she was like they were both characters that I was completely unaware of in history in general, as well as ancient Chinese history too. So I think I had no idea who they were, what they were meant to have done. But I think with this one, maybe I think I'm kind of half trusting that they actually kind of did like be accurate in her chasing the treasure of the Flor de la Mar, actually needing to do like accomplish something with it, even if it wasn't this. I mean, they wouldn't really get much out of actually forging ancient history, but same time, trusting that they actually did like a decent job, actually kind of like of actually kind of reenacting her history and what her kind of goals and quests were and everything. So she was still a fun character to have around, and even her actually then like that journey of her kind of then being accused of like being thought of by the son as being the killer of his dad, and then by the end of it they actually kind of like they actually, you know, kind of turn things around, and then she even kind of adopts him into her crew too, like being like, he's my responsibility, I'm gonna, you know, like, this will be his new home now, he can actually help me, and then we can actually kind of sail the seas together and everything. So nice little kind of turn of the tables for them and stuff. And then even I think Jihan actually went down with his ship too. I think he went down with the ship, and he actually kind of he you know, he gave his life. He actually gave his life to actually make sure they could actually go ahead and win and kind of save the day. So I think he kind of like lived. I think he kind of I think he lived kind of like knowing that most of his other men died. Like even if Lei Bao actually lived and went on to continue the kind of safety of the Keystone, then like his other men still lived, and I think he still kind of like, they still lived thinking that he actually actively wanted them to die and was actually executing them or something. So I think he lived like a life with a lot of pain and a lot of kind of like choices in his heart. So he gave his life to kind of avenge that stuff. So he, you know, that was a kind of like a cool ending for him. So yeah, I think just having them both in the story kind of seemed fun, but nothing overly kind of, you know, like historically accurate. Like not just with the Sea Devils being in there, but I think I think the story. I feel like the story definitely kind of found it kind of like kind of strugglesome to find the perfect balance between the Sea Devils and Madame Ching and Ji-hun too. I think with the Sea Devils coming in, I think it definitely kind of like somewhat highlighted their own goals and their own need to find the Keystone and their own kind of desire to aquify the world and everything. So definitely felt like once the Sea Devils were brought in, which was actually fairly early in the episode too. Once they were brought in, I think it definitely kind of the attention just kind of couldn't help but get shifted over to them and what they're capable of and how dangerous they are and what they can do and that kind of stuff. But I think they still tried to actually give kind of like an actual kind of passable kind of backstory to Madame Ching and to Ji-hun too, and actually her wanting to save her sons and using that treasure to actually pay off the money, and the fact that she wasn't actively or inherently like an evil or murderous pirate. She literally was, and she never even killed the dude. She never actually killed his father to begin with. So I think she actively was trying to, you know, trying to get stuff done to save her sons and everything. So now she has help. Too. So yeah, that was cool. And yeah, like I said, I remember seeing like as soon as the trailer came out, and then even that was in the club. I think the Doctor saying Sea Devil and then seeing the Sea Devil was in the thing, but then people, like a few people memed that too, like the Doctor saying Sea Devil, and then in the memes it was like it was the Sea Devil being like, oh fine, land bastard, how'd you like that? You big fan of name calling now? Just, you know, just innocently walking in here and all of a sudden you start throwing disses and shade in my face and everything. So yeah, but this one it was Land Parasite. So yeah, I mean, we had that with I think we had that with the. I think we didn't have anything too close to that with the Cylons. But I think even with the Cylons, I think they would actively kind of diss and shade the humans for being the ones who were land crawlers or whatever. So you know, and I think land crawler. That was another one. I think Land Parasite was the more insulting thing, but then the actual kind of general baseline adjective was land crawler, because then that's what they do. So. Yeah, so that's why I think as soon as he said Land Parasite, my brain almost autocorrected it to the meme version, which was Land Bastard. So yeah, it was good that they actually at least had that kind of exchange going in. So yeah, and they had the Hua Shen too. They had the Hua Shen, which I think according to his son and Madame Ching was just like a legend, like a urban myth or legend. But then the Hua Shen was also like an actual kind of creature of the Sea Devil's making, and the Sea Devil's kind of bringing in their own kind of Loch Nessie kind of creature to try and detect the keystone on the ship and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was cool. And of course, we got some prime time Thasmin content. We gotta talk about the Thasmin. Got to talk about that because then they actually did go so much further to address it. I think especially towards the end, they finally got the beach. They finally got the beach scene, and they finally did actually push forward to address it and everything. And I think the addressing alone. I think that the addressing alone went not only one of the ways that I fully believed it could happen, but also the way that a lot of people kind of believed and said the common theory was that realistically the Doctor would have to address that time is really not on their side. Time is not on their side. It, like for the Doctor especially, it never has been. Time, even for being like a Time Lord, like time has never been on their side, and it's always caught up to them. It's always kind of taken away the things that they care about the most, and because of that, the Doctor kind of actively avoids and has a hard time attaching to things and keeping things and everything. So I think this show is one of the perfect kind of representations of immortality being a curse. Because again, I think, you know, people who don't fully grasp the concept of immortality think, oh, it's just you live as long as you want and you can experience all these different things. But then the harsh reality of it is, oh, you watch as everyone you love and care about kind of dies ahead of you, and you're stuck watching everyone else move on and all this kind of stuff happen. And with the Doctor, like I think pretty much the entirety of, like, you know, quite possibly the entirety of Classic Who as well, but then the entirety of New Who especially has kind of focused on that like the fact that, you know, well, not focused, but I think highlighted that kind of part too, of like them having all these different companions. Some of them die, some of them, you know, just some of them move on as they should, and some of them actually, you know, like, I think the way the Doctor has described it over the years has always been in like, even if it's been worded slightly differently, I think they've always kind of actually kind of highlighted it in the most accurate way too. Some of them move on because they have to or because they want to, and then some of them get left behind, some of them die, and then, you know, but then in the end it's always the Doctor who's kind of left kind of feeling somewhat the worst and actually feeling like, you know, they can never actually get it back and everything. So seeing that fully addressed here too, seeing the Doctor finally actually addressing them. But then even I think the heartbreaking thing was, like, you know, the Doctor being like, you know, I can't fix myself. I can't like she can't actively change that kind of stuff happening. Like, that's who she is and that's what she is. Even worse, that's what she is. She's the person who lives forever simply because she changes her, like, her physical form and her face and everything, because then she gets more lives and she lives like she's already lived for like literal centuries now, and even and all throughout those centuries she's made all sorts of memories and met all sorts of people and made all sorts of impacts on different lives, you know, both platonic and romantic. And even like her mentioning the fact that, you know, like, she wants to it's not like she doesn't feel that kind of attraction, it's not like she doesn't feel that kind of desire to be attached to someone, to attach herself to someone, but it's the fact that, again, time just isn't on her side. Like no matter how much and no matter how hard she tries, the people she attaches herself to will kind of eventually be left behind by the wind and by the winds of time, and she'll eventually have to say goodbye, or sometimes she won't even get a chance to say goodbye before people are gone. That's always been her curse, and even that's exactly how the tenth Doctor described it to Rose too. Like, you know, you can spend the rest of your life with me, but I can't spend the rest of mine with you. You know, I like, you will be forced to move on, and then I'll have no choice but to move on. So, you know, that's the curse of a Time Lord. I think they're perfectly kind of emphasizing that kind of in that beach scene too, and everything. So I think more than anything, I think that beach scene definitely kind of felt like more like, I think that might have been the one issue maybe that I had with the beach scene, the fact that it actually felt more like like it felt more like there wasn't enough balance to it. It felt more like the Doctor saying why they can't be together, more than Yaz actually explaining why she wants to be with the Doctor, or even Yaz explaining how she actually feels, because then she still didn't get the chance to. She didn't get the chance to actually tell her how she feels. I think that's probably going to be the most emotionally wrecking kind of speech of all. So they're probably going to be saving that for the finale and being like, you know, like right before she regenerates, Yaz is going to tell the Doctor how she feels about her and everything. So they really want to break us. They really want to break me. Just, you know, just pieces on the floor like Humpty freaking Dumpty. Would have happened if it happened in this episode. It would have definitely happened, but no. So yeah, I think that would have been my one wish. The fact that, like, I think because then I think they jumped from her explaining why they can't be together to then, like, I mean, I think the one thing that Yaz really kind of got in was actually her nanny's words actually being, you know, like, a courage is a matter of actually being afraid of what you want but going for it anyway, like very similar to the 13th Doctor, to the third Doctor's words too, like, you know, courage is a matter of being afraid but doing what needs to be done anyway. So I think with this one, you know, could have been wise words to heed, like, you know what, screw it. So then if it's happened before, then, you know, this time probably won't be any different. Like, I think the Doctor has had many romances before too. I think, you know, Classic Who, I've kind of yet to see if that really is like how much more of a case that is with Classic Who. But I think with New Who, you know, Rose Tyler was the first romance that they ever kind of explored, and that one hit the Doctor like a ton of bricks, and everything. And, you know, I think the companion with the situation closest to Yaz would probably be Martha. But I think Martha's but in like a much less kind of you know, emotionally degrading way, I guess, because like with Martha, I think, you know, like the Doctor definitely kind of treated her somewhat like a doormat after Rose left, but then with Martha, she was definitely attached to the Doctor and everything, and she definitely wanted to be with the Doctor, but then the entire like as time went on, she gradually saw that not only was he not really interested in her that way, but then he was also still hung up over her. So then the entire season was her constantly proving herself. But then she eventually did. I think she still proved to be amazing. But then I think the problem there was, they were. I think she was in the right place for like for herself, like to be with him. But then he just wasn't in the right place for her. And then yeah, but I think looking back the way it ended up was definitely. She like they definitely weren't in the right place for each other. And I think I think. On the one hand, it's like you wish Martha would have had a better, more positive journey, but then I think in the end, I think it still kind of worked out in her favor, like with her still showing what she was capable of, and the fact that she was more than just someone he could pick up after Rose left. So, but I think companion-wise, I think she might have the somewhat the closest kind of journey with the Doctor, alongside Yaz too. I think with Yaz too, I think the Doctor actively does feel it, but then she's holding it back. I think that's the difference. Like I think this time, the attraction is definitely mutual. It's definitely mutual, and then but the Doctor is afraid. After all this time, I think the Doctor has so much more reason to be afraid too. I think that's what's more painful. The Doctor has so much more reason to be afraid. But I feel like Yaz's nanny's words actually should have been heeded here. I think the optimist in me and the kind of desirer in me actually actively wants them to actually be able to do that, to actually chase it, no matter how scary it might seem. Because then, if they admit it and then chase it and then actually accept it again, then chances are they'll be that much more aware of it, and they'll actually be in like a much better place and like be able to actually grow through it and grow past it in a much better way. Then they'll actually kind of because then they could at least kind of move forward and even end their journey in the next special, knowing that this was actually something that they accepted, something that they actually grew to say yes to. So it just kind of hurts. I think it hurts, but I think also knowing that I think especially like the way that people point out too. I think with the Doctor, I think the Doctor themselves has to be able and willing to say yes, and she has to be kind of like, she has to feel kind of strong enough to be able to go through that kind of pain again. Which if she isn't, then I guess that's only really fair. I think because of that, a lot of people have said that maybe, just maybe, not only if Yaz survives the next special, but then if she does, maybe she then goes home to be with someone else. Maybe she actually finds, maybe the Doctor is her kind of gateway to her kind of actually finding out her true kind of, romantic and sexual orientations. But then actually maybe the Doctor, isn't necessarily the person who spent out. Because even Martha was actually into the Doctor, but then she moved on to be with Tom. And then even when she came back in the end of time, her and Mickey got together, and I think and they seemed to be pretty kind of happily together after and everything. So together happily ever after and everything. So maybe that might be the case for Yaz. Maybe it's actually her needing to find herself through the Doctor, and even the Doctor being that kind of person too, the one who actually takes her everywhere and opens her mind to all these different things, but then finally opens her mind up to herself and allows her to discover who she is. Then maybe that might be the key. And I think I would be so much more than happy and willing to accept that kind of fate for her too. Maybe she actually does survive and finds someone else, but someone who's actually meant to, like, let's say someone she's actually meant to be with too. But the kind of optimist in me wants her to be with the Doctor. The kind of I so badly want Thasmin itself to be canon. But I think Thasmin at its core is just the Doctor and Yaz kind of being with each other, and them just actually kind of being willing to accept that they have feelings for each other, even if like a fully blown relationship between them isn't what destiny is. Maybe it's just them communicating, and maybe it's just them actually being open and everything. And I think if they're gonna address, on the one hand, if they're gonna address this, I think maybe in that case it could still go either way. Maybe, just maybe, it could still go either way too. Maybe they could really kind of cherish what they have left in that way, but then even after everything is gone. But I think that would probably make it even harder too, because then if they accepted it and then she dies kind of straight afterwards and regenerates straight afterwards, then the Yaz is no longer kind of like kind of aware of if that feeling is still there, if it's still meant to be, or if it's still destined. Maybe if she's no longer the same person after that anymore. So I don't know, it's all a bit messy. It's all a bit of a mess, which is why this honestly should have been done way earlier. Should have been confirmed, should have been explored way earlier, should have actually kind of had a bit more time put into it. Because I think what this all is at the very end, it is just it's finally, towards the very end, it's finally giving people what they want, actually doing the story that you most likely were going to do from the beginning, but then also kind of actually leaving it until too late, until there's so much left to explore, but then so little time to do it in. And then in the end, it's like, okay, well, now we don't know what we're gonna see, we don't know what we're gonna get, but now it's gonna be like, oh, it's very much like it's very much like a glass half empty kind of thing too. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, the scenes and the stuff sprinkled in throughout the episode too, the stuff sprinkled in throughout the episode was still really good to see. Like from the beginning, they actually transport to the beach. They literally materialize for the first time on the beach, and even Yaz being like, "Oh, we finally got a beach. We finally got our beach that I've been yearning and want and desiring so long for." So finally got the beach, and then of course then disaster calls with the kind of distortion and all the other kind of the chaos happening in the village with the Sea Devil. But yeah, I think they got their beach, and I think still took them with good reason. It still took them the entire episode to actually get to the beach and actually have them on the beach and everything. And even at the very end, yeah, still had to say, "Oh, well, you did promise us the beach." So I think they were holding off on the beach for so long, just kind of dragging their feet along, literally like dragging their feet along to the beach in the end. But they finally got there. But I think even throughout the episode, still had some fun stuff sprinkled in. Oh god, the underwater scene, just them in the TARDIS, underwater and everything. Like the doctor actually showing her the seabed with the water just perfectly behind the aqua force field and everything, and actually still showing her the visuals and the views and everything, and Yaz just being so stricken and everything, and I feel like it was actually almost kind of like reflexive and like subconscious for the doctor to be like, "Oh yeah, not a bad day, am I?" And then even Yaz being like, "What? Okay, wow, we're going here. We're really addressing this at the bottom of the ocean right now. Fitzsimmons style, just Fitzsimmons, but without any sign of lethality until the Hua Shen comes along." But yeah, no, they she went there. She just kind of like just pretty much just blurted out that line too. I think that had to just be like a subconscious kind of thing for her, just kind of like thinking out loud for her or something. So yeah, but then for Yaz that was enough, like her actually being like, "Oh shit, so you feel the same way." Did Yaz say, yeah, did Dan say something? Because Yaz definitely hasn't said anything yet, but did Dan say something to you, like did he talk to you about what I said or what I talked about or something? So that line being that, and even just got the look, the looking, the eyes, the yearning, the heart eyes were rife, and everything. But yeah, just wow, just that scene among many others. The space between them, in the doorway of the TARDIS. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the TARDIS doors didn't actually just kind of flex on them, just actually push them together a little bit. It feels like something the TARDIS would do, actively set the Doctor up with like another companion or something like that. Even the TARDIS being so tired of all the kind of like subtlety going on, even like within its walls and everything, and finally just pushing the Doctor together. Just go there, you idiot. Or something. So yeah, I mean the TARDIS has kind of has been like somewhat of like a grey area. I mean, somewhat of a grey area. I think Clara was the only one, because I think Clara was actually the timeline kind of duplicator in her life and everything. But I think for the most part the TARDIS has kind of been pretty neutral and or positive towards companions in the past. So TARDIS would have definitely loved the Doctor and Yaz together. So TARDIS would have stood for it. But yeah, that scene was good. And then even finally when they're under the water and they're in the Sea Devil labs and everything, and even then the Doctor's line being like, if I was like I don't really do the dating thing, and again, not because she doesn't want to, but because again, time just ain't on her side too. I think the last time she probably dated was probably as the 12th Doctor would have. I think even actually mentioning that too, even actually mentioning that she last time, the furthest she's gotten is actually having a wife, and then even that kind of didn't really end in the best way, like the kind of 24 years on Beryllium and everything, and then finally her like knowing that she's gonna head off to the library and die and everything. So that one, that actual kind of I mean, she did even mention that she was a man before then, but I think even then, could have been referencing either the 10th. I mean, well, no, she was only the Doctor's wife when it was the 11th Doctor and the 12th. I think she got married to the 11th and then rejoined with the 12th and everything, and that was Beryllium happening. So she actually mentioning that, at least then, no secrets between them, actually knowing like just how many lives she's lived, where she actually had a whole other set of people in her life and a whole other set of connections. So still took the time to mention that. But then she did say, I don't date anymore because of those kind of, emotional kind of, time limit reasons, but if I was going to date, it would be you. Actually, her confirming, if I was going to date anyone, it would be you, because you, Yaz, you're one of the you're the greatest person I've ever met. I think that could like actually tying back into one of the things that Yaz actually said after I think the first season with 13 like you're like even Yaz describing the Doctor as the most wonderful person she's ever met, or like the greatest person she's ever met, and everything. Like, she's like, I want more time with you, and I want to actually like see more things with you and everything. I'm not quite ready to let go. Yeah, like all those lines being Yaz, all those lines are just pure Yaz. So you know, yeah, so that's again, yeah, I think finally then addressing it too. I think actually then confirming that the Doctor does then indeed. I think the Doctor then also confirmed it in a very angsty way too. I think she never. I think what we were definitely missing from there that we might get in the next special too was actually how happy or how like how badly she wanted to be with Yaz. I think she at least mentioned that much, but then also actually mentioning maybe like how happy she was to actually have spent this time with Yaz. How much like happier she would have been if she was able to be with Yaz, but then. I think because of what she's going through, I think like the majority of her kind of reaction towards it was angst, like oh, I want to be with you so badly, but I can't because I'm going to regenerate and I'm going to lose all this time, and then even if we do something, then that time is going to be lost to us, and we're never going to get it back. So I think because of what she's going through, I think the majority of her reaction towards it was just angst and drama, and just like her just kind of just wanting time and the universe to be on her side for once and to be on their side for once. So. She's, admittedly not really getting the easy end of the stick here. So, yeah. Truth be told, I mean, don't get me wrong. I really don't want to kind of like trash what we're getting because it's so late, or because it's like is this what they're doing now? They're running out of time. I think for the most part, I think like even with this being as late as it is, I feel like it still feels like something good in like it still feels like something good, like the fact they're addressing it, the fact they're actually talking about it, the fact they're giving the character giving. Well, I mean, not necessarily giving the character space to breathe about it, because again, the main kind of element is that they're running out of time. But then the fact that they're still actively trying to get the characters to actually discuss it and address the kind of topic, and address their own connections and their own emotions is still like a good enough thing to see. I think this kind of story is all like the Thasmin, like 13 years is like this sort of story means so much to so many people, and it means so much like fans watching, and actually kind of like it just means so much as a story in and of itself. And again, not the first time romance has been done with the Doctor. And I think to me personally, I feel like I think romance romance between a Doctor and a companion is not something that can ruin the show for me, because like the show has so many good things going for it and so many wonderful things going for it that for me it's just easy to add any kind of love story between the Doctor and a companion or anyone to that kind of mix. Like, oh, it's still it's still like a feel good show. It's still like a funky sci-fi show that's explored so many different things in all the kind of seasons it's done in the past and everything. So with this, definitely a lot more of what you want to see, but then just not enough really, because they've waited so long to do it, just not enough time to actually explore all that could be explored or all that should be explored. So I guess we'll see exactly what the centenary special actually kind of offers to us, and what it holds for us and everything. So yeah, I guess there's really nothing else we can do except wait. But yeah, 13 and Yaz, just as a companion, and I think also as companion and Doctor stories go, I think it's also been really kind of really fun and really kind of like fluid to actually watch too. Like the Yaz starting off as human as anyone else have been. Like even with her too, I think she definitely is also one of those companions that actually definitely didn't start off in the most kind of dire or most mind-bending situations. Like besides from the alien actually crashing through the train, she definitely kind of started off as like an incredibly present-day grounded human character who then is shown this incredible world, as many before her, as like the same kind of origins, as similar origins as to many before her too. But then she's shown this entire world and this entire kind of sense of like a newfound sense of adventure by the Doctor, and then in that time, she kind of grows more fond of and more attached to the person who shows her all of this. And I think that's something that makes perfect amount of sense. Like the Doctor is the one who shows all of this, but then in that time too, the Doctor like readily and actively like interacts with her, actually grows more attached to her. Like the Doctor herself actually grows more attached to Yaz and grows more fond of her, and even like actually goes so far as to actually kind of like make sure that no matter what happens, she still sticks around and stays alive and keeps her safe and everything. So I think that kind of thing, oftentimes is the kind of thing that can really strengthen the bond between people and actually evolve that bond and see where it takes them and everything. But I think unfortunately this this story could go anyways. I think we to find out what really is the case. I think we definitely kind of have to wait until the actual special to actually find out how they end the story. Obviously, we have to wait until special to find out what happens. But I think I think now after seeing this episode, I think I have a lot of kind of comment theories kind of running through my head. But I think they could definitely either have her. I think they could either have Yaz stay on, like maybe because I think even Dan, I haven't talked about Dan at all. I think Dan. He called Diane, and he kind of like was in the midst of leaving a voicemail for her, but then he got through to her, and he actually kind of got talking. So I feel like Dan might leave. I feel like Dan might leave. I feel like Dan might leave to be with Diane. I think Dan and Diane seem to be somewhat more on the road towards recovery, and on the road towards actually building. To rebuilding the bridges between them. So I think for them, Dan might leave towards the end of the special, and he might opt to stay with Diane instead, and then Yaz might be the one. Yeah, I feel like Yaz might volunteer to stay with her. Yaz might depending on just how tense things are in the next special. I feel like Yaz might go through all of what she does in the next episode with the Doctor, and then in the end might feel like, I've come this far, I've gone through this much with you. I'm not leaving you now when you could really use someone else, or when I think you could use someone else. I feel like that might be why the Doctor actually says Yaz, screams Yaz's name as she originates in the previous. I think that might be because she's in the TARDIS, and she might come back in at the last minute or something, so then things are really kind of that much more dire. But I feel like Yaz might stay on, and everything, so that feels like a possibility. Definitely feels like a possibility. Because I think at the end of the day, I think Yaz also kind of has her family to think about, like very similar to Martha, and Martha in that sense too. She also has her family to think about. So I think if she then feels like that losing her Doctor would be too much of a change to go through, then I feel like then that might also be a call for her to leave and maybe actually to then finally find her own route. But then yeah, I think that seems like also like another possibility too. Like maybe now that she's actually accepted herself, and now that she's also explored a bit more of herself and accepted herself, then maybe she can actually return to her family being like a more open and happier person. Actually come out to her family and come out to her parents and her sister and everything. So maybe that might be the kind of other kind of breather she needs. But then again, also all this to say that there's no chance that she couldn't possibly return in the future too. I think we've I think companions returning is also like a hallmark of companions for all the live long day and everything. So she could very easily return in the next season, or something. How they pull that off, I'm not touching. I mean, just up to them as to how how much more creative they want to get with companion returns, and how much more creative they want to get with the Doctor, with the next Doctor and Yaz being like a potential duo that they want to keep around and everything. So there's also that. So yeah, after this, I think with Ace and Tegan coming in after this, I feel like I might just skip ahead, because I think based on what I'm kind of hearing and seeing a bit about Classic Who 2, I feel like maybe they actually really don't bother to reference older doctors or older kind of faces that much. I think there's crossovers obviously, which is where they actually kind of fully establish that the Doctor is like a person with many faces and many lives and a very, very expansive history. But I feel like maybe the way that they do stories might also be the fact that stories can very easily kind of be watched in somewhat spontaneous kind of routes and different kind of places and everything. So I feel like I could definitely also, at least this time I could definitely still watch some kind of more highlighty Ace and Tegan stories, to get a feel for them as companions, and then see how they are and what they're like and everything before watching this. Because I didn't manage to do it for the Sea Devils. I think it didn't really kind of work out against my favourite thing, because again it definitely didn't feel like anything that kind of spectacular. It felt like a very, very fun and pretty decent episode, but nothing to really be over celebratory about. But I think with Ace and Tegan, with them being returning companions, I feel like I definitely want to see what their roots are like before we go into the special. So I'm gonna be if you guys have any recommendations for any kind of big kind of Ace and Tegan kind of stories that are good and good enough to actually watch out of order, then I'll happily accept recommendations. Maybe even actually, I mean, to get to know a companion, I feel like you'd probably still need to actually watch their very first episode to see where they started and who they are and how they grew to be what they are. So I don't know if starting from the beginning might be a thing to do. Maybe see their very first story and then see their very best story. So assuming their best story isn't in fact their origin story, maybe actually seeing Ace's first story and then her best story with the Doctor, and then seeing Tegan's first story and then her best story with the Doctor, and then actually kind of working my way through. If it's multiple kind of best stories, then I don't know, maybe I'll just try and do something with that. But either way, I think I definitely do feel all the more motivated to actually kind of actually look to look into their history and actually see their history in time before the thing. And I think it definitely does kind of feel somewhat weird, kind of picking those out of order and out of place from my journey of going through the classics. But you know, again, if they're bringing them in for the special, I want to kind of get to know them beforehand, and I don't want to be going in too blind to that. I think I kind of want to feel even better knowing a bit more about them as I go in, and actually kind of feeling somewhat kind of nostalgic. I think nostalgia is all to do with time, of course. I think actually watching this mere months before their almighty kind of first time ever return to New Who wouldn't be all that nostalgic, but still, I think it also kind of somewhat like research and seeing who they are and actually getting to fall in love with them before I actually can, you know, see them in the special. So yeah, if any recommendations, feel free to let them in the comments and to leave them in the comments, and you know, I'll see what's what, and maybe even do some reactions. I mean that's the hope, but you know, we'll see how time goes. We'll see if time is on my side. We'll see if time is on my side when it comes to actually doing those reactions and putting them up and everything. So we'll see. And I think it's also I think based on the fact that I think that's actually Tegan and Ace actually calling each other and talking about the Doctor too. I think it's also like a really nice thing to have two like companions being together too, because I mean, I want to say we don't often get that, but I think in New Who, I don't know about Classic Who, obviously, but I think in New Who, we actually do get that, like, a bit more, like, a tiny bit more, like, actually companions actually meeting, interacting, getting to know each other, actually kind of bonding over their shared time with the Doctor, as well as their shared evolution, so actually, companions actually, you know, kind of talking about the adventures they've had, but also, like, how far they've come, how much more they've grown under the kind of wing of the Doctor and everything. So actually seeing Tegan and Ace actually kind of bonding over that, like their times with the Doctor, their adventures, and getting to know each other, because that's gonna be Ace, pun fully intended. But yeah, I think Ace herself, I think I've seen clips of Ace was just a badass. Ace was a badass with a baseball bat, so you know she just like was not, you know, she was fully prepared and you know, fully unhesitant to just bonk a Dalek over the head or bonk any kind of monster over the head. From the clips I've seen, she was fully prepared to do some bonking in order to get away and present herself as like an actual force to be reckoned with and everything. So seeing her, yeah, I think they were both firing guns in one scene too, so I think they're definitely prepared to fight back. Just like old times. So yeah, but it's also been a while for them. It's also been like quite a few, like a handful of faces since they've actually last seen the Doctor too. So I think for them, even now, finding out that she's now a woman too, will be like an interesting reaction to see, and actually them kind of bonding, like the Doctor and her companions now actually kind of doing some, you know, world saving and monster fighting and everything. So, and the Daleks being back to Ace versus the Daleks, you know, and everything. So, because it's also like not every companion gets to face off every monster, and even some of them actually get introduced to new monsters instead. So it's gonna be interesting seeing. I think Ace has definitely met the Daleks, but I think I don't know who Tegan's met, or who else Ace has met. I mean, I'm trusting that the Seventh Doctor wasn't just Daleks, and he actually did face off against other things too. But still, gonna be fun to see how they actually how they actually deal with this, and what exactly it is that actually brings them back into the mix too. What actually brings them back into the kind of the hullabaloo that is life with the Doctor as well. So yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, I think as of so far, those are my thoughts. Those are my current thoughts. You know, I think leading up to next time, I think, you know, we'll still be thinking about this episode and thinking about all the more stuff. But I think for now, these are my initial thoughts, and thoughts I'm momentarily happy with. Because I'm always kind of like annoyed at myself, or kind of, you know, like ever like mildly pissed off at myself, like, oh, I forgot to mention this, or I should have mentioned this, or I should have talked about that. But I think, you know what, that for me at this point, that's just life. I'm always going to be pissed off at myself for something. So yeah, either way, all my thoughts out there for this episode. So still fun episode, some, you know, really kind of great and really kind of, you know, heart-wrenching Thasmin content as we expected. So that was cool. Fun episode with the Sea Devils, really cool monsters, and definitely gonna want to check them out in their classic appearances and everything. So definitely gonna be seeing what that's all about soon enough. So fun kind of story with them, fun story with Madame Ching and the other characters and everything. So just like a fun, like an enjoyable episode of Doctor Who overall. So yeah, and also happy Easter too. I've really forgot to mention that a bit. Like right up until now, I forgot to mention. I even mentioned how this was an Easter special. But yeah, happy Easter. I hope you've had eggs. If you're okay with eggs, if you're okay with chocolate eggs, I hope you had eggs and had a great day doing whatever. Hope you're all staying safe and taking care out there. So yeah, just take care. Just take care of yourselves until the next time, until the next episode, until the centenary. Take care of yourselves and everything. But yeah, for now, that is all that you'll be hearing from me on this one. So that was Doctor Who, Legend of the Sea Devils. So thank you, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what your thoughts are on this and how you felt about the Sea Devils returning, and if they're your favourite classic monsters of all time, and any recommendations you have for Sea Devil episodes to actually watch and get some thoughts on, and what you thought of Thasmin, and what your thoughts on Thasmin are, where you think they're headed, where you want them to head, and how you feel about that journey, and what you feel would be like a good enough conclusion for them, and what you feel would be the best conclusion for them, and all that kind of jazz. And also on what you think about Ace and Tegan returning too, how you feel about them, if they're faves or anything like that. Full-length reaction for those interested will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.